Oh, what's good, YouTube? This is Glad4 from Team Alpha Omega, coming to you with a discussion video. Now, there's been an age-old question. It's, what's better? Gores? Tragodia? Battle Fader? Or Scarecrow? Now, a lot of people argue about which one is better, which should be played in which decks, and stuff like that. I'm going to be discussing what should be played in what decks and what's not good for other decks. I'm going to start out with Gores, Emissary of Darkness. This effect reads, screw it, I'm going to put a link down below. I don't feel like reading the entire thing. When your opponent attack inflicts battle damage to you or effect damage, you can special summon him from your hand if you control no cards whatsoever. That means no monsters and no spells and traps. Though you probably already know that. If they inflict battle damage to you, then you special summon a Emissary of Darkness token that has the same attack and defense as the damage you took. If it's burn damage, so effect damage, then they also take what they took. Sorry, OTKs. Sorry, I'm computer. But, now, I'm gonna also talk about Tragodia in this aspect. Tragodia has the same effect as Gores, except it's just any time your opponent attacks you directly. So you can have a full spell and trap lineup, and if your opponent attacks you directly, you can summon Tragodia. His effect, he has quite a few effects, linked down below. And then, yeah. Now, many people discuss what's good in what deck. What deck should play Gores, what deck should play Tragodia. I personally think Gores can be good in any deck, because you don't have to set cards in order to win. I guess if your opponent has an OTK, you can purposely not set anything. They attack with their first monster, and you special summon Gores in defense in your token in defense. That can oftentimes either their other monsters won't be able to get over Gores, or you'll just have an extra 2 monsters to stop their OTK, allowing you for game next turn possibly. This is also good in decks such as Lightsworn, couple junk doppel decks that don't have a lot of spells and traps. Frog Monarchs, decks that don't have a lot of spells and traps. Or no traps. So you don't have to set cards. You can set monsters, okay, they attack them, blah blah blah. They attack again, you have a 27 beat stick automatically. Plus another token that can be used to tribute or use as synchro if you ever grow up for level 8. Now Tragodia, on the other hand, can be teched into many more decks. Because as long as your opponent attacks you directly, you can special summon him. So he can be in decks like Zombies, or, well, he's mostly playing Zombies, but Zombies, Frog Narcs, anything that can use an extra monster. He's also good defense to stop your opponent's OTKs, as he's an extra monster that gains 600 attack for each card in your hand. So he can, in a deck like Frog Narcs, where you usually have a decent hand, he can be a very good monster. Now, do I personally think that both of them should be run in every deck? No. I think decks that don't run a heavy trap lineup can run Gores, though decks that even do run a heavy trap lineup, there is Giant Trunade and spell and trap removal that can hurt you. So I think Gores could be teched into every deck, if not mained, then sided. Tragodia, on the other hand, is not as good because A, he's not guaranteed to be as powerful, and B, he only summons one monster instead of the extra monster that you can use for abuse. I think he's good in decks like Frog Narcs, where they can use the extra special summon, and you have a decently large hand. Onto the subject of Battle Fader, Swift Scarecrow. Both of their links will also be in the underbar. Starting with Battle Fader. This card says when your opponent attacks you directly, special summon him. Doesn't matter if you have a complete field -1 monster zone. As long as you can special summon him, you can special summon him and end the battle phase. So unless they destroy it during the main phase 2, he's good synchro or tribute fodder for your next turn. The problem with him is when he's special summoned that way, he's removed when he's removed from the field. So sure, you can sync or use him as tribute, but he's destroyed. So he's good in decks like Frog Narcs saying they use Monarchs, they can use that extra special summon, and they have level 1 tuners, so they can use that extra level to sync into formula. Swift Scarecrow. He is Battle Fader is also a fiend, so you can use him I know U-Bell player that uses 3 Battle Faders and 3 Dimensional Alchemists. Battle Fader to stop it, any attacks, and Dimensional Alchemist to get back Battle Fader. But you can also, saying Battle Fader is a Dark Fiend and Dimensional Alchemist is a Light Fairy, you can use it to get out Nolaris if you do have the Battle Fader somehow engraved. This is quite beneficial in some decks. Now Swift Scarecrow, he is a machine that has the same effect as Battle Fader, except when your opponent declares an attack, you discard him from your hand and to end the battle phase, so your opponent's attack does not go through. This is good and bad compared to Battle Fader. Battle Fader, you get the extra monster, so you can use it for sinking and tributing. Swift Scarecrow, it goes automatically grave, so it's not as abusable, but it's a machine. So in any Mechana deck or Machina deck that uses Solitaire, it can be used quite well because it's extra defense and it works around solid. And now it can also be used with Machina Fortress. He's a level 1, so you can discard him and Fortress his Special Summon Fortress. He's overall good in machine decks. Also, all of these cards can really be used in Final Countdown decks, saying they stall infinitely. But they both have the same attack and defense, 0 and 0, so they're not that good special summoning them unless you're going to use them as synchros. In my opinion, I think Battle Fader is a little better just because you do get the +1 monster. It's not +1, never mind, take that back. It's an even. But saying you do get the monster for extra abuse. But if you're playing any type of machine deck, Swift Scarecrow is definitely the choice that you should use. That pretty much wraps up the video. Yeah, I guess it really depends on what type of playstyle you play in. If you play more aggro, defense, control, whatever you play, whether you should play Trigodia, Gores, Battle Fader, or Swift Scarecrow. Yeah, all the links to the cards from Wiki will be down in the link below. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to the video, and peace YouTube.